Welcome to my daily review. Today is Monday, October 20th. You're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which advanced 1.37% today with average 50-day average volume 2% above, and it closed at 22,990. So a 310 point move, 1.37%. It did, flirted with 23,031 was the high, and we know the high from that whack day was 119, 119. So that would be your benchmark here. We could take that out this week. I would fully expect that. We've got a lot of catalysts coming up with earnings, lots of tech earnings this week and next week. And of course, we have the Federal Reserve. We don't know if they're going to cut rates or not. I would assume so, but that could be a catalyst going forward. I've got to point out the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This one was up 1.12% today, 515 points, nearing that high of 47,049. So both these indexes are at near highs, which means that the S&P 500 index is approaching the high. It made a different high from the 67.64 the day before the whack day. And then today it got to 67.44, so 10 points away, but it was up more than 1% as well. Anyway, when you have the Mag 7 as strong as it was today, that's going to paint the tape a little bit. You're looking at a daily chart of Apple up 4%, we'll call it. Let's take a look at the weekly because this is the big base here that it's trying to break out of. It had this little handle here where it fell, 5% one week, found support last week, and then today, like I said, when you get a stock like this with all this supply, it takes a lot of demand to move it. So when it starts to move like this with that kind of energy, I would just say this is probably the start of a move and not the end. So yeah, I think there's still a chance to you're not chasing it, even though it's 3%, 3.2% above its five. It's still near that trigger point of yeah. So yeah, I don't think you're chasing her. I still think it's actionable. How about that? Anyway, good move for Apple, and Apple drives, the Dow Jones, the SPY, and the Nasdaq. So good day for the Apple folks, the Apple longs. Microsoft still consolidating within a base, but it was up, 2/3%. Google and Meta. Nice days today. This one's forming a little cut pattern, undercut the 21 on that whack day. So that whack day has proven to be an opportunity here. Google, the trigger would be 256. It's right there. Um, After hours, yeah, it's right there. I should put that on my ready list tomorrow morning. Google looks good to me. Meta still consolidating within a base below its moving average, but strong day today, up 2.13%. So we'll take that all day long. Amazon now, Amazon Web Services was out today, and some people were complaining about YouTube. I hope I can actually get this video on YouTube. They said YouTube was down, but anyway, Amazon had bad news. Web Services was out, and it's still up 1.6%. So that tells you something. If it's not going down on bad news, that's a good sign going forward. Of course, NVIDIA did absolutely nothing today. Nope. Star in this area, I think AMD pulling back to that 5 here on Friday. I've talked about it in the morning show, how it, looked like it wanted higher price, and they just kind of pinned it down on Friday with the low is 227. I'm going to take a look at this on a 5-minute chart. Yeah, this is your action on Thursday, and then Friday just couldn't get anywhere. All of a sudden today, yeah, they knock it down to 237 or 227 on Friday, and then today's high is 242. So just a $15 move here, 3.2%. Very nice for AMD. They're not going to report till November. Navitas Semiconductor, this one broke out, pulled back one day to the 5, and now today popped 17%. Very nice for the semiconductor stocks. Let me see. What else do I have here? Oh, this morning reporting Cleveland Cliffs, and the thing that they said that was important, it doesn't matter about their earnings or sales or anything. It's just they said they're getting into the rare earth mineral game. So of course they know what to say. It popped 21.5%. Nothing. Basically saying we're going to get into the rare earth mineral game. So that's all. Once again, hot money, a lot of cash sloshing around. They say the magic words, and the hot money flocks to Cleveland Cliffs. Some of the other rare earth mineral names popping today a little bit. MP, this one supported the 21. It was up 2.6%, not bad. USAR, this one had a strong move. Last four sessions, pull back to the 21, found support. That's a nice bounce, 14%. Yeah, 14% move for that one. UUUU, you get it. Down to the 21, bounced 7% today, very nice. And then UEC, uranium energy, pull back to the 21. This one bounced 2%, not quite like the others. All right. I'm going to get out of this group and, of course, go to the gold. Barrick Mining, this one, once again, shenanigans on Friday. Dropped this thing down to 32.69. Popped today 4%. Just, yeah, these a lot of shenanigans on that options expiration Friday. Got to tell you, the market makers then just sit around and have fun and laugh at what this stuff that they're pulling. All right. Let me see here. Good move for that one anyway. KGC, Kinross Gold pull back to the 21. Just an inside day today, but still up, more than 3%. WPM, Wheaton Precious, yeah, inside day. AEM, because they were down so much. So a lot of these are inside days just because of that ridiculous move on Friday. This is GLD, yeah, pulled back to the 5 on Friday where everybody was short, down 1.8%. Now it's up 3.6%, making a new high today. So, yeah, I knew that wouldn't last long at all, and it didn't. All right, let's move on. This group is killing me right here. OKLO, pulled back to the 5, thought it would get support. Nope, didn't. And it made, a lower low today. So it's got to stop making these lower lows. I don't know. If I switched it to the 10, it would probably, pull back to the 10 here. Let's go to the moving averages at 10. I don't like doing this. Bear with me. Yeah, pull back to the 10 today. So Oklo has got to find support here pretty soon. I know that GEV reports this week, and that's going to have an impact on it. So this is just flat today. A lot of the nuclear names, alternative energy, were just flat today or down slightly. What's the other one? Oh, LEU. Yeah, up 5%. It had a big move to the downside on Thursday. Yeah, $20 and Friday. $35 and finally found support at the 10 and it popped. So maybe Oklo will pop tomorrow, but the LEU is looking a little stronger than Oklo at this point. Yeah, just got to wait for GEV on Wednesday morning, and that is going to impact this group greatly. All right, I'm going to move on to my favorite group right now. I swear it's the drugs, man. The drugs are killing it. CELC had a positive phase 3 trial. It was up a lot more than this in the morning. Let's see, it just sell off all day. I mean, you still can't whine about a 36% move. Yeah, it was up early and it just sold off all day. So profit taker, you got to expect profit taking after a move like that. IONS, of course, the longs want to see it, close on the high, of course. This one, very strong name, just starting to flag now after a big move, forming a little wedge here. Yeah, those ones have been working. That one looks good. It's on our relative strength list still, I believe. ALNY, put this one on our ready list this morning as it's still consolidating here in this flat base pattern, starting to push away up 2%. I'll take 2% every day. Thank you very much. 2% a day keeps the doctor away. NTLA, this one, another one making a new high here, finding support at the 10 and bouncing, finding support at the 10. A lot of them pulled back on Thursday and Friday. Popped today 13%, nice move, but this group here is a top 10 group. So, and there's 800 stocks in here with a lot of low priced, loser names. So these winners are definitely pulling it up. ADPT, Adaptive, another new high today, up more than 9%. Yeah, can't complain about that. AQST, this one has been really strong here recently. Made another new high today, and you can see it's just surfing its 10, keeps pulling back to 10 and finding support. So congrats to the longs there. That's a nice 6% move today. SUPN, Supernus Pharmaceuticals, another new high today. Once again, just surfing the moving averages and trending higher. The trend is our friend until it bends at the end. And a lot of these stocks are trending in the right direction for us. This is a weird one. RAPT. I don't know what happened to this one today, but it was up 42. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Wow. Close in the middle of the range. Wow. Look at this. So it opens, I think it opened about 42, I want to say. Yeah, and then a couple minutes later, what, 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, it's 25, 42 to 25 in like 20 minutes. Hello. And then what? What, 40 minutes later, 35 minutes later, something like that. It's back up to 42. So this is why, oh man, you can't watch that stuff. Holy smokes. Closed, up 15%, 33.67. Had some profit taking in there. That is just a wild day. That's too wild. Closed 48% of its daily range, 42 to 25.50. Wow. Anyway. That's life in biotech land, right? All right, I'm going to move on from the biotech stocks. I want to get to the construction, building heavy construction names. This is Jacob Solution. Let me see. They don't report for a while, but they're up nearly 5% today. You got to look at this base on the weekly because this is a big base, then the flat base area where it had the 3 weeks tight pattern, and now it's pushing away from that base nicely. So that looks pretty good to me. STRL, Sterling Infrastructure, another one just surfing the moving averages to higher prices. That one looks pretty good too. And then Quanta Services, Quanta no crashes. Breaking out from this base and just starting to push away. If we look at the weekly here, yeah, nice little base and now pushing away from that area. So those three look good in the building heavy construction space. And I want to talk about this, the data center. These things got hit today. This one is NBIS, Nebius Corp group, sliced the 21 on Friday with volume and follow through to the downside today, closed 15% of the daily range. That doesn't look good to me at all. CoreWeave sliced the 21 today. Yeah, closed 3% of the daily range. So these ones are not looking good at all. Iris Energy, today it sliced its 10, closed below it, closed at 29% of the daily range. So, these things are telling you something here. This is not just the easy money anymore. CIFR up 6%. It sliced its 10 on Friday, closed above it, and then followed through today to the upside. So CIFR definitely the winner of that group. I got to go to Oracle too. Oracle getting slammed today. Looks like it's, just going to pull back to the 50 here. We'll see if it finds support at the 50, which today was 270, 264. So those are getting slaughtered. Palantir still, consolidating in this base. This one's taking too long for me. I had it on my ready list a couple weeks ago. One of these days it's going to pop, but I just don't have the patience for it. Sorry. But yeah, it's doing nothing wrong and certainly acting better than a lot of these other stocks. All right, it's in the flying machine rocket group, Rocket Lab. Yeah, nice day today. Just pulled back and it keeps finding support at the 10. Pulled back Thursday and Friday, found support and bounced today. ASTS, this one was, Tom Petty free falling. It was Tom Petty's birthday, right? Pulled back to the 10. This one now has to find support, but it went up to 100. On Thursday, got rejected like Matombo, closed at 4% of the daily range, so you expect more downside, and that's what happened on Friday. I would expect a bounce here at the 10, but you got to be careful. If that thing wants to slice through it, there's more downside. So yeah. And the flying machines, UMAC, down to the 50 now. So okay. And then, of course, I'm going to throw this one in. This one is just a strong name. Uh, Telecom infrastructure. If you get the weekend report, this is the top three group. performing, and this is the top performer in the top three groups. So it's definitely one to watch, finding support at the moving averages and just trending higher. You got to go to the weekly here. This broke out, it's just trending higher. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I'll have another short video in the morning. And oh, in honor of the great Steve Jobs, we can't say never give up, but in honor of the great Steve Jobs, one more thing. Earnings tonight, Crown Holdings was up. It was holding its gains up 8%. We'll see if it can get above that 100 and hold there. Crown Holdings after their report. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to hear from GE Aerospace. I like this chart here. I'm kind of a sucker for a chart at 307. How come they couldn't push it any lower? It's just kind of flagging here in this little wedge pattern. I think they're going to have a good report. I'm not saying this is going to pop 10%, but I think they're going to have a strong report. Who else do we hear in the morning? Well, Coca-Cola, of course. Consumer consumer stocks have not been doing well. Pulte Homes reports, they're providing incentives to sell homes, so they need interest rates to be a little lower. GM, same thing. Interest rates cuts would help them. They report tomorrow morning, and a couple of defense names, RTX reports, right? And I think LMT, Lockheed Martin, yeah, they report in the morning as well. Anyway, something to look forward to tomorrow morning. That's it for me. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up.